Hello, good morning. My name is Tom Vivian. I'm the service manager here at Paul Audi. I'm going to be doing my video presentation for service manager today, and I've actually got two new starters starting today. So I've got one of our Connect specialists is moving into an administration role, and I've got a new service advisor starting today. So I thought instead of sort of orchestrating the presentation, I would literally roll it off the cuff. So real time, so you guys get to see myself teaching, learning, instilling the right behaviour, attitude, expectations from the brand and from Paul Audi as well. Don't know how it's going to go. I'm hoping it will be fine, and I'll try and keep on track and not sort of steer off. If I do, I'll pause it and try and edit it so it's a sensible video. But it will be an introduction to Paul Audi. It will be the reason why we need these roles, how important they are to the business, and using some of the systems, i.e. RTC and Carriage for invoicing. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be good. The presentation that I've done on the customer experience on task 2, I will integrate into this session as well. More for the introduction because it's got the piece on a little bit about Paul Audi. So yeah, cool. Wish me luck, and I will submit this if I feel like it's a half decent presentation. Thank you. Right, okay, so this is going to give you a good understanding of where you're coming in at, what it looked like before and what it's going to look like, what we need from you and what we need from the service administration team, and some of the reasons why we need that. So what I wrote is a little bit about Paul Audi, just as an introduction. Is Paul Audi's been owned by the Ocean Automotive Group since 2000. Operates primarily in Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole area, with a client base that spans across the country. As a flagship dealership in the UK, we take pride in our premium service we offer to our clients. In this presentation, I will explain how my role as service manager directly influences the enhancement of the customer experience, fosters long-term customer relations, and ultimately increases profit margins for the department. Our after sales department manages up to 70 throughputs transactions per day in a state-of-the-art workshop staffed by 24 technicians, each accredited to different levels of expertise, including service, diagnostic, and master technician. To maintain such a large operation, it is crucial that we ensure our customers' journey is seamless, transparent, and stress-free. The Audi core process is designed to achieve this. However, in a world where customers might not always be available for a lengthy phone conversation or back and forth emails, miscommunications can lead to frustrating and negatively impact our department's KPIs, such as communication and overall satisfaction. To address these challenges, my after sales manager, Gavin Waring, and I, with oversight from my head of business, Elliot Honoran, have introduced a revolutionary new system called Front. We will also be restructuring our department's resource to better meet the needs of our customers. So, up until now, what the structures look like is we've had essentially bookings team, service preparation, which is going to be a guy sat out there called Josh, and the service advisors, and then myself and Gavin, who we are customer facing. Our job, largely internal, is meant to be working with people, the technicians. Gavin's role different to mine. He's the logistics and sort of the money keeping book side of the department, whereas mine should be with the techs, the drivers, driving, advisors, and so on and so forth. As I said to you, this isn't really working right now because we think there's just too much going on with the service advisors. This is why we are now putting together some additional steps on what we think it's going to, how it needs to look. So what it's going to look like is, we've got, still, this is the old system, okay, and how many people we have had in these roles compared to what we're going to have now. So we're going to have an after sales manager still at the top, the service manager, the 2 workshop controllers down the workshop, and we're going to have 5 service advisors, 3 service administrators, 4 at the bookings team, service preparation, 2 warranty controllers, and a customer experience coordinator, which is going to be part of a larger customer contact centre, which is only going to make all of our roles a lot easier. So our administrators are going to be working down in workshop control. Okay, so we're going to have a desk of 4 down in workshop control, where essentially workshop control, when they're finished, before it gets to the advisors, can go, right, done, that's done. That before that goes up the top, that can just be invoiced off and done, made to the money. These are going to be jobs such as one links, your simple services, work that's already been estimated, priced up and signed off by a customer. It's not really going to be work, sort of big clutch operation jobs where, like I say, there could be discount applied to it or the investigation fee may have been scrubbed. So what are the perks of having the administrators down in workshop control? Well, they're going to have the 2 warranty controllers right next to them. So if there is a warranty job, and let's say it comes in as a fleet job, then they're going to be able to literally just be able to go into the warranty office and go, can I have some support with the fleet matrix on this? Because if it's a fleet car, then they're automatically entitled to a certain level of discount, be that parts and labour. So warranty would be able to help and support that whilst it's quite fresh for you guys. So that would be good as well. And also workshop control. When you've got a job in front of you and you think, hang on, something's missing here. I've just been given this to invoice off, but the MOT hasn't been done. Then it can just be the workshop control. Oh, I'm really sorry, this hasn't been done. Workshop control should also help you prioritise what needs to be done, because you're not going to be invoicing off a 5 o'clock finish first thing in the morning when you've got waiting jobs in the workshop. It just doesn't make sense. So they'll help prioritise. In time, you'll know what to prioritise anyway. I mean, you won't, but the preparation team will. Sorry, the administration team will. So it's going to be a really nice setup, and if everyone's talking and communicating with each other down in the office, then by the time it gets up here, it's done. It's essentially ticked off. What we're seeing at the moment is service advisors sort of mad scrambling to make sure everything's done, trying to pen it all up whilst trying to be on the phone to the customers as well, which unfortunately does sort of lead back to this slide here, where we've had some negative comments come through about our communication. So you can see that people are literally just saying anytime they want to try and get through to the service department, it's just incredibly difficult to get through to anyone. So the service advisor really is there to protect the journey, the process. You know, welcoming people in, how are you doing, how's it going? Oh, I've got quite a bad issue with my car, I've only just bought it. You know, when you're scrambling around with 12 people a day, it's like, okay, no worries, yeah, let's get a signature on that, send you out the door. Whereas if we take some of this administration away, then you've got more time to be sympathetic. I mean, if I just bought a car and it gone wrong, I'd be absolutely fuming. So your service advisor's there to go, okay, look, I understand you've just bought the car, I'm really, really sorry, I can't say how embarrassed I am, but grab a seat, let's have a look and see what's gone on, how long have you had it for, and then when you've got an understanding of goodwill, how the warranty works, approved warranty, you'll be able to advise correctly on the next steps. At the moment, we're just not doing that. And then that person is going to be quite sensitive for some time, so you need to be able to sort of look after them for the entire time that their car's in the workshop, take that anxiety away, make them feel confident that they've bought a car from Audi and they've got the whole reassurances that we're going to get everything done right for them. Again, not being able to return the phone calls, so this is all real life data, okay? None of this is fabricated for the presentation. This is real time, over the last 3 months, surveys that have come through from Audi. And
Sean.
we are, what's up, Hannah?
One of his customers needs to go, but payment needs to be taken.
Okay.
£20.
Is anyone else who can do it?
Everyone's busy at the moment.
Okay, is Fernando out there?
He's a jack.
Get Fernando to take it. So really important all this, we'll get to it, these are our KPIs, so our departments will bonus massively on communication and return to workshop and several other factors which make up like an entire scorecard for our department. But communication is just something that has been on his backside really, and some would say the Achilles heel of Paul Audi. So we're getting the right people in the right places to be able to make sure the whole journey is protected. And communication, I'll be completely honest, is going to be the forefront of the service advisor. We're going to be taking away the administration work, but don't be mistaken, the expectations from us of that level of communication is going to be up here. Whereas now we're we're sort of allowing a certain level which is unacceptable because we understand how much administration work there is, but that's going to change. Once that service administration team's up and running, that level, that bar is going to be up here, and we're going to be managing it very carefully. So yeah, this is where we were up until the introduction of something called Front. So one thing which you may have not used in your previous job is WhatsApp to communicate with customers. Unless, of course, maybe you had a friend or something, but did you use business WhatsApp? No. So, because what we found is here at Paul Audi is we've had a lot of this phone tennis where a customer comes in the morning and then they go to work. You've got an update for their car, and you're like, oh hi, got an update, but you just get through to their voicemail because they're working, and then they get a tea break, let's say 10, half 10, they call you, you can't take the call because you're seeing a customer in, then their tea break's finished, you call them back, you miss a call, goes to a voicemail again. Nobody listens to their voicemails, do they? I know I don't. So no one listens to voicemails, that gets missed, and then by the end of the day, we're right back here. Dissatisfaction, no one communicated with me, it's impossible to get through to anyone. So what we have put in place is something called Front. So Front is a little bit like Outlook, it's laid out. So we'll start by our workshop management, okay? So I should already have this loaded. So this is all the cars that we currently have on site right now. All right, that's on site, being on site, ready to go in a different status. But if we sort of clean this up to a particular service advisor, let's just use Jack for an example of this. Okay, so this makes a little bit more sense now. So normally you'll come in the morning, yeah, and it will all be jumbled up like this. So it's all jumbo, it's all these different colours, don't make a great deal, what's going on, how's it going? So we can tidy this screen straight up by pressing that order by status button. So by clicking this, we get a nice clearer view of what's going on. So if it's white, it generally means it hasn't been here. It's not here, it's not on site, it's due to come in, car is not here. If it's yellow, we use the legend at the top. If it's yellow, it's on site. Okay? If it's green, it's been allocated to a technician. Alright? If it's on this sort of like purple colour, then that means we're waiting for authorization from a customer. So essentially, this job, looking at this, it's had labour and parts assigned to the job, and it looks like it's been sent off for the customer. So it's an investigation. So chances are, like it says on the tin, we're just waiting for the customer to revise the documentation which we've sent to them and come back to us with an answer. If it's green, then there's parts on order, but the parts are not in stock. So this RS6 is waiting for something to come into stock on it. All right. Jai's put a little reference here of the BO, so that's back on parts 7 to 10 days. And then we've got red, which means it's completed, and then we've got black, which means two things. It means it's completed and the customer's been contacted. So you wouldn't want to move this, so say Dr. K for example, the Dr. K is done, yeah? If I was a service advisor, even if I've done all the invoicing, I wouldn't want to move it into the black until I know that I've actually made a contact on the phone, I've WhatsApped them, or actually RTC is quite a clever system where when you've moved it into completed contacted, you get a little SMS message come up. We don't really want to be using that anymore because we don't want to be too overkill with all the messages that we're sending. So obviously we'll be jumping into our Front, which will be a live screen as well. So white, not on site, yellow, on site, green with a technician, purple, waiting for authorization, light blue, parts on order, red, completed, black, completed, on site, customer contacted. Once it's off site, drops off your screen, yeah? So at this moment in time, all these cars are here, arguably other than this one in white. So we can also switch to, so these are our jobs for the day. So we're all Jack, at this moment in time, we're all Jack. We've come in first thing in the morning. What have we got to do today? What customers have we got? So we've got, these customers have not arrived yet, but they're due in today, they're booked in today. I think this one might be in the wrong status, or it's a rebook because it's already got labour and parts assigned to it. So you may notice that some of the screen here is like a slightly different shade, like a vanilla-y shade of white, which means the customer's done an online check-in. Okay, so I think online check-in, when we thought about it and we sort of integrated it into our day-to-day process, is the idea of just being able to walk into the dealership and go, here's my keys, here's my paperwork, here's my keys, I've already signed, I've got to go, really sorry, I've got to go to work. Yeah, we should be able to accommodate this kind of people's busy schedules. There's my keys, I've got my coat, I've got to go, I need to be in the loan car straight away, I need to get out of it. So we've allowed people to do online check-in. So again, you'll be able to differentiate the online check-ins by that sort of vanilla-y white shading on the jobs. You notice some of them are underlined?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you know what that means, mate? If they're underlined?
There's 2 jobs.
That what?
There's 2 bits to the job. So
No, so not that there's
got diag work and breakthrough.
So not that there's 2 lines, you are right. So this one, there's a warranty job on it and then there's a cash job on it. But what that means is they've left a little note for you. So if it's underlined on the online check-in, there's a little box where they're able to leave notes. So there's a disclaimer on this as well, like if you're asking us to do additional work, then we might not be able to fit it in, you need to speak to an advisor. But unfortunately that disclaimer does get sort of overlooked quite a lot. So just for an example, if we jump into, let's use Mr. Stones. So if we go to notes, right, we can see that they've put a basic note, so it's added on at the time of online check-in. Let's see what they've said. Turn service reminder off. So I guess first of all we need to actually see what the job's in for. Because of course we can't just go and turn the service lights off willy-nilly. So it's not actually in for the service. So what do you think the job of the service advisor is going to be?
Contacting the customer. Check when the service is.
So it is going to be an online check-in, so they might not be want to run up. They aren't going to be wanting to sit around and have a long conversation. So you are right, contact the customer. What else can we do before calling them?
Check whether the service is due.
Yeah, have we just done a recent service on it? Have we dropped the ball somewhere here? So I've done it in the past, I've gone in on the phone, right, nope, not doing that, and then really embarrassingly turned out that we've only just recently serviced it. So the first thing to do would be go into the history, see if we've done a recent service. Then you're already prepared for the conversation, aren't you? It can be, Mr. Stones, I've noticed that you've added on the online check-in that your service reminders are on the car. I've just had a quick look on our records and can't actually see that the car's been serviced. So we're not just going to be able to go in and turn the lights off. However, good news, we have got time and scope to do the service today. Depending on what service that is, an oil inspection, it's going to cost X, or for the latter, it's going to cost Y. You're already prepared to go, and you can have the conversation to why we just can't turn them off willy-nilly. So that's a really good example actually to use, really good example. And then if we just check in one more so we know what we're doing. So we've got some hot links at the top of here as well, which we'll go into shortly, and what they do and how we can utilise them. So Mr. O has added, no car washes required. Okay, so really important note this, by the way, guys, is every single job that comes through as an online check-in, you need to take as yes, they want it washed. There's an option for them to not have the car washed, and this is it. And this is how it pulls over. Because a lot of these jobs you might not even see, because our driving team will just go, yep, thank you for the keys, bye-bye. Because they've checked in, they've signed the job card. Everything that the car's in for, they've signed. Obviously, that's one of the most important parts of the job as a service advisor, is getting that signature on the job card. Well, that's done. They've signed. They don't need to sit with you, they don't want to talk with you, they just want to get going. So if you haven't got this disclaimer on the job, it's as good as okay for the complimentary wash and hoover. However, if they say no wash, you want to be careful we don't trip up here. What are the reasons why people wouldn't want to wash on their car?
you want me to answer it?
Yeah.
Too expensive, i.e. the R8s that we get in that have their own film
Yeah.
coat put on them.
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah, exactly that. So some people will have their own personal detailers. I mean, this day and age, detailing is massive. Loads and loads of people have their own private detailers. Obviously, we see a lot of high-end cars, RS6, RS5, R8s. We get a lot of R8s in, don't we? A lot of R8s in. And if they've got like ceramic coating, slipping in through the old car wash with a dirty chamois might not go down too well with a customer. And actually, if they've specifically told us not to wash it and we do, who's responsible for taking out any scratches or getting the ceramic coating done? Yeah, really. Do you know how much a ceramic coating can cost?
I know that upwards of four figures, depending on what you.
Massive
what you
money,
want.
huge money. So that is something we do need to be keeping our eyes out for. Our service preparation gentleman, Josh, should be keeping an eye out for all this as well when marking on a job card. But he's not the last line of defence here. You guys are. You guys are the last line of defence to be in checking these notes. So
who is not here, by the way?
yeah, I know, I've just noticed. So this is your screen essentially. This is your diary. This is where you, like I say, you're going to be living, breathing, your jobs for the day. At this moment in time, it's nice for you to get a bit more of an understanding on RTC, how it works. See this service text. A lot of this is built in like abbreviations, acronyms. So for example, Flexi 19, oil and inspection service, and then your brake fluid. 69R7, that's a airbag campaign. And then this RS e-tron GT, 49A4 is a brake pedal software update. 82D1 is, I think it's the high voltage heater. Under the glove box, 91VT is quite a large software update. So, I mean, if I was a service advisor looking out for this today, I'm thinking, who's probably going to be your customer that's going to want a little bit of extra TLC today? And everyone should be treated the exact same way, by the way. However, I'm just looking at this list, and from experience, I would say, okay, well, you know, a 69R7 is a safety campaign. A lot of these cars, 2006, 2007, you'll probably find they've never used us before. Never used us before. They probably won't come back. You know, we can still put a very good service on for them, but chances are that of them coming back for their servicing, unlikely. However, Mr. Wagner, well, that's a 72 plate RS e-tron GT. That's one of our flagship premium models. Chances are he spent a lot of money on that car. Good chance he bought it from us as well. So I would be putting, as a service advisor, I'd be putting a lot into this. Like really trying to put my best show on for Mr. Wagner, because that is one where we want to keep the retention in this customer, like we do with all of them. But literally just looking at your screen in the morning, you can sort of focus, you know, sort of where your energy needs to go into. So again, these are all jobs coming in. You can see it's doing a live update then. See one has got knocked off. So that means that someone's on site wrong. Okay, so this will refresh, I think it's every 5 minutes or so, every couple of minutes. At this moment in time, is there any questions? No? Okay, so we'll go on to a little bit about the columns then. So we've got a booking number. So you see here where it says VHC, and it's got L and P against it. Okay, so that means labour and parts. And we'll get to that because it will be on your pricing up screen. Registration number, customer name. We've got the model, make and model, and then we've got the date in, date out. So it looks like everything here today is bar the e-tron GT, yeah. Because that's a lot of work. So you wouldn't really be able to slip that in one day. I mean, arguably maybe, but that's a lot of work. And also at Audi, there's a certain requirement for technician to be able to work on these vehicles. So I think the minimum requirement from memory is they need to be HVT level 1. So that's an acronym for high voltage technician. So they need to be at least level 1. To be a high voltage technician, they need to be an accredited service advisor and have done quite a lot of training after that as well. So you've got quite a highly skilled technician that will be working on that today. So you've got your date in, your date out, your appointment time, which we can filter, by the way. So at the moment it's all a little bit mumble jumble. So we can click on appointment time in, and all of a sudden it paints us a little bit of a clearer picture of when these people were due in. So you remember when I was saying like where advisors can be quite busy to be doing this communication? Well, Jack's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 customers coming in at, 4 customers coming in at 9, and then he's got another 2 coming in 15 minutes time, so that's going to be a busy morning for him. So we've got time in, time out. Service text, which I've already said is a bit of a breakdown of what you've got in today. If when with time and experience you'll be able to break these apart. PFTJ, that's an acronym for price for the job. Price for the job is pretty much a promotion price already set out by Audi. So you'll find, let's use brake pads for example, you'll have your price for the pads and the price for the labour will equate to X amount of money, which generally speaking, every price for the job is normally a little bit off that, about 5%, 10% off that price. So price for the job, if you want to do price for the job for our customers, it's always worth saying that this is already a discounted job by the manufacturer before people are already asking for more discount. Oh, no, actually, if I haven't already told you, price for the job is already pretty much a promotion by Audi. They've already knocked off a little bit of money, so it's helpful there. Then you can see now, so we've got facilities. So what we offer, collection and delivery, we offer waiting appointments, courtesy car appointments, we offer taxis home as well. So we've got several different ways that we can look after people. This customer is going to be waiting on site for their Haldex oil, and it'll be a mechanical repair. 3 of our customers are in courtesy cars. This brake fluid MOT looks like a waiting appointment. If you look at the times, although it doesn't say wait, 9:45 to 11:45, I would say that's a waiting appointment. This customer looks like it's going to be dropping and leaving with us. The oil inspection service is going to be waiting. Now, you can tidy these columns up to whatever you feel is most appropriate for you. So see like the time lapsed or the tech, I like to have this. I don't necessarily need this, so I could just go hide. Right, I could get rid of that column. And then we've got the name of the service advisor, which is Jack. And how many hours is it booked in for? Do you remember when I said Mr. Wagner is a big job? Well, it's got 9.67 hours against it. 9.67 hours. So with all the will in the world, you know, unless your technician's extremely efficient, and also that whole job goes through without issues. When I say issues, I'm referring to the 91 VT, because it's a big software update. We do have problems sometimes. Then you're not going to get that done in a day. You're just not. Imagine that was a one-day booking, and that should be alarm bells, red flag, Mr. Wagner. You know, welcome to Paul Audi, take a seat, hope you're all okay this morning. I've just been revising the work that you're in for today, and I'm sorry to say this, but it looks like our bookings operative is booked you in for one day. I'm really, really sorry. This level of work on this type of vehicle, which needs to be done by a specialist technician, we're not going to be able to accomplish in one day. So I am going to need to have the car into tomorrow as well. And then that's the point where you would come and speak to myself or Gavin, or, you know, arguably if there's one available. But don't worry, Mr. Wagner, I can put you in a loan car, it's all okay. We should have one in reserve, we do have a bit of a buffer. I can put you in a loan car, I can see you weren't booked in for one today, and I'll be in touch when the work's all done. Because ultimately, if I try and rush this work, things can go wrong. E-tron GT-RS, I'm sorry, I'm just not prepared to take that risk. People really understand it when you put it through to them like that, and they get it. No one wants their car rushed, no one wants it to be the last car of the day, you know, so people would be understanding to that. So that's a little bit of a breakdown here. Let's see where we are. So, let me just pause my video. Has anyone got any questions on RTC up?